Hi there, radio astronomy scholars. Welcome to our segment on how to construct the stand for our radio horn telescope. As we saw in the supplies section, you were requested to get 3 pieces of 2 by 2 by 8 pieces of lumber, some screws and bolts to hold it all together. And so we're going to get started now with the first step, which is really just making the pieces easier to work with. We've designed the measurements so you can do that. Each piece is 8 feet long. That's, as you can see, pretty unwieldy. So the first thing we want to do is mark the center and cut each of our 3 boards in half. Then we're going to take the measurements and cut them into individual pieces. So let me pause the video for a moment. I'm going to go ahead and mark these, cut them in half, and I'll be right back with you. So once that's done, you're going to have, as you can see here, 6 pieces of 2 by 2 by 4 foot lumber that you can work with. As you can tell, the 4 foot section much easier to work with than the other. And so now we're going to go on to the next part, which is marking these individual segments for cutting into the individual pieces we need to build the stand. There is a drawing in your instructions. I'm kind of holding it up here. I'm going to put a much closer view on the camera for you, but it shows how we're going to cut the 3 pieces. The first thing we need to do is mark them. There are 2 boards that are marked identically and 1 board that is marked slightly different. So if we're going to do the 2 identically, let's go ahead and put those 2 pieces side by side so our cuts will match up very nicely. And you can see our first mark is at 13.5 inches. I'm going to mark that right here on each board. That's 13.5 inches. And then I'm going to find, if you do your measurements, you find, surprise, surprise, whoa, my next measurement at 34.5 brings me right up to the end of the board. So I only have to make 1 cut to get my 2 pieces in this board. So I'll put a little straight line here. Okay. Let's mark the other side of the stand. Take 2 more pieces. Put them over here. Line them up. And on the second one, you'll find it's a 30-inch and an 18-inch section. So let's go ahead and mark our 18 inches. Draw our straight line. All right. So now I've marked 4 pieces of our lumber for the stands. The first one is marked 13.5 inches in, leaving us a 34.5 inch piece on the other side. We're going to need 2 cut like that. And we have another one that is marked 18 inches in, and that's going to leave us a 30-inch piece on the other side. These 4 pieces, when cut, will allow us to build the base stand. What are we going to do with the other 2 pieces? Well, we're going to use this to construct the part that holds the horn and holds your laptop computer. So for the part for the stand, we're going to mark that at 8 inches and then 28 inches, and that should give us the pieces we want. So we're going to go 8 inches, 28 inches, and if you do the math in your head, you should go, wait a minute, that gives me a 20-inch piece, a 20-inch piece, and a 8-inch piece. That's right! It's exactly what we want. So we're going to mark this one here at 8. Go up here to 28. And that'll give us a 20 and a 20 and an 8. So now we have 5 pieces ready for cutting. And we're ready for the last one. That's the laptop holder. This is where you have a little bit of scrap. So you got to get in, pick it. So I'm going to use this part here. And as you can see from your drawing, there's two 12-foot sections. And then there's some waste or makeup in case we make a mistake. I'm going to mark that at 1 foot and 2 foot. There we go. Use my straight edge. Now again, when you cut these, if they're not cut perfectly, if they're a little bit, tiny bit off, it's not going to matter. It's a pretty easy stand to fit together. So, next thing we want to do now is I got 6 pieces all ready to be cut. I'm going to take them back over to the bandsaw, cut them, and I'll be right back with you.